let's get into the next thing, man. Let's get into Miami Dade Basketball.
Yes, sir.
That's your something that you've been building on from the ground up for a while now. You've been putting a lot of time, effort, energy into it. You know, with the Instagram, the Twitter, showing up to the events, throwing the events, getting the exposure out. There's so much stuff you've been doing with it since the beginning. So let's let the people know how it started. I want to know, how did you just get the idea of like saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna start this. Like, I'm just gonna take the initiative and do this. Like how did it hit your mind? Like, you know, what made it click? Like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna start this up. Let's just do it now. Like, why did that strike?
Vince Baldwin is the director of Nike.
Okay.
He used to have this. He's from Detroit. He used to have this magazine called Prep Spotlight. And man, I used to try to go find that magazine and take pictures and see where I was ranked at and all this other stuff, man. And it was nothing. I just wanted to see who's in front of me, man. You know what I'm saying? But it also gave college coaches a booklet which gauges the talent in the area. Yeah. So we didn't have anything like that. So one day I just put it on Facebook, started a Facebook group, put it on Facebook, and it started blowing up. I had the list was terrible. you know what I mean? I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Who was the best kids?
We got to start somewhere.
Had to start somewhere. So I took a lot of flack from it, and I got personal with it. Like, man, forget y'all. You know, but you can't do that. You can't think about that. It's about the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's about the brand. And you want them, even if it's a negative attention as far as like they don't like, kids don't like where they ranked at or whatever, it's still attention, and we want to be able to bring out a guide, have this guide for college coaches to come into the community and see which kids are the top kids without having to pay a crazy subscription or, you know what I'm saying, pay a bunch of money to see who our kids are, because ain't nobody doing it first. And then I wanted to also say that and when your name is on the list or something and you're ranked or whatever, you know what I mean? I don't do the ranking. Your coaches do the rankings, man. Like, I just put up the platform.
It's a committee.
Yeah, it's a committee where we do the rankings and we do, you know what I'm saying? We go through, maybe we're wrong. Sometimes we might have a error on there, you know what I mean? We have to take kid out, but you know what I mean? But we're just trying to do on strength of getting it together for the communities, so the kids can have something to look forward to. Yeah. Even giving out the Mr. Basketball Award. All that stuff was actually, you know what I'm saying, was dope this year. And every year that we get a chance to recognize some of the top kids. In the area, man. So, you know.
So I have something to say about the rankings. Okay. Right. And this is how I feel about the rankings. Rankings are rankings, right? That's just what they are. Someone decided to put you there in whatever case they may be, right? And this is what I have to say to the parents that get crazy over it for no reason. To the people out there, to the coaches that get offended. I don't understand. Like I understand you want to defend your player and your honor, your program, and the parents wanting to defend their kids. But this is what I had to say, and maybe this is just me because I have a different mindset, or maybe I'm just more old school minded. But I say this. This is how I think about it. Was every number one pick in the draft, did they turn out to be the way that they needed to be? No, someone got that wrong, right? But a lot of people thought that person should have been picked number one, no matter what you say, right? We can go. What's the latest one? That was a bust. Oh man, I don't know why the Hennessy got me a little not thinking right. But okay, so why am I blanked out right now? So not every number one pick, maybe because I'm thinking like 2 or 3, and I don't want to say somebody was a number one and they weren't, and they were a 2 or 3, but not every number one pick that has ever been picked was Anthony Bennett. That's
okay.
Right? Like and that's my point. A lot of people thought like, well, that was a little bit of a wild card, but a little bit of a reach, yeah, or maybe a lot of a reach. But what ends up happening there is saying somebody believed in that person. Someone thought that they ranked above, and they decided to take that pick over another pick. And the reality is, what Shaw's trying to say is, hey, we're not saying we're right, but it's your job to prove that wrong, right? And I think where you started with this was, you said, I wanted to see where the rankings were at. I wanted to see like where I was ranked at. And I think like, okay, so this is what I think I take out of it when you say that. You say, this guy's ahead of me? Hold on, man. When we play this guy?
There you go.
And I'm trying to go at that guy. And it's your time to prove whether that committee, right? Because it's a committee of people were wrong or not. And it's up to you. Why attack the people that are trying to do something for the community.
Well, half of the time the kids and the parents be mad at me, but it be their coach who put them there. I don't say nothing. I take all the heat. I'll be like, man, I say, yo, man, nah, man. Say, nah.
Talk to your coach.
If you don't take him down put him that high, man, I'll be like, man, like this is what they voted on. He say, man, you better take that kid here. And sometimes it be like that, man, because the kids don't know how to act or react to certain things, or they lose their mind over it.
Yeah.
And if they start playing a different kind of way, you know what I mean? I definitely don't want to see that happen. What I do want to see is I want to see college coaches looking at this and saying, look, man, hey, let's try this kid. Hey, okay, he signed with here. Okay, let's see what this kid's availability is. Let's see what this kid's availability. Use it as a tool, and coaches should never be mad because like you don't want giving me the stuff. Like I want to help you guys. You know what I'm saying? Help the community. I like to do fun things, man.
So for the people that don't know, for the parents, because I know most of the coaches do know, right? Because I think it's every coach per high school.
Yeah,
isn't it? Right. So, for the parents, right? Because we know the coaches know. Let's help them understand that it's a committee.
Yes.
Your high school coach is in it, right? So he knows what's going on, right? He's aware of the situation. Yes. So it's not Shaw, so we don't need to attack him.
I wish it was. Sometimes I'd be like, man, let me just do it. If I'm getting all the work anyway.
Yeah. Well. So if we want to help you understand that it's a committee, it's something that's voted and debated by a group of individuals. And they decided as a whole, right? It's based on the basketball community of South Florida. And honestly, obviously there might be always some bias because every coach wants to have their kid on top of the mountaintop, or my kid is here, my kid is there, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it still makes it somewhat fair because at the end of the ranking, it's still a committee decision. Right? So it's still people coming together to make this ranking. But what I get out of it, and I want And this is where I think competition matters, is it doesn't matter what the ranking is. What matters is that if you got offended by it, which I think is the best thing about it, right? If you don't agree with it,
it works.
It works.
It works.
It is now motivation for you to go out there and show that that's wrong. But listen, if you don't do that, you're only proving the system right.
It worked. As soon as you say something like is that hey man, I had one coach, I ain't even gonna say his name, but that one coach got mad at me, and I was like, man, like I ain't even gonna say what I said to him. I'm just gonna say
keep it PG.
I'm gonna say this, like if your name wasn't on our list, what would your name be at? Like I want you to understand that I want to help you. It's not to hurt you.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not to hurt you, but we got some really good players in the city. You know what I'm saying? Some of the top players in South Florida are here. You know what I mean? Caden Boozer won Mr. Basketball. He's one of the top players in the state as a freshman. You know what I mean? So Cameron Boozer won Mr. Basketball. Caden Boozer is his brother. He's one of the best players in the state. Both of them are. They just got offers from Duke. Cameron is more like Tim Duncan. That's a guard. Never rattled, but he plays the 4. You know what I'm saying? He's like 6'8". But man, he's a phenom, man. Like I never seen nothing like he always plays his way. Always plays the way he wants to up under pressure. You know what I'm saying? I think he's Mr. Basketball for Miami this year. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of great kids and got a lot of great athletes this year.
And once you built it, once you started it, you've done events already. Mm-hmm. You've done several events. Mm-hmm. How do you want it to keep growing? How do you want it?
Miami Dade Basketball. I want to add more people to it. You know what I mean? I don't want it to just be me. You see other people. I want other guys to be able to come in and explore opportunities in it and use this to branch off, maybe get college jobs or whatever would have internships, just to get to know the players and the coaches.
Yeah.
What I want to do next, man, I actually want to do a podcast. Okay, I want to do a podcast, something like this, similar to this. I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to have coaches on. I also want to do more events during the year. We're going to keep the top 24 that had some success this year. They had a lot of success this year.
So break it down. Top 24 per class, right?
Yeah, it's top 24 seniors.
Senior. Okay, so it's only going to be seniors.
Yeah, it's only seniors. The top 24 seniors is an all-star game. I only had 2 weeks to put it together. Shout out to Tico and the Miami High crew who helped me out. You know what I'm saying? And we partnered on it and got everything together. But you know what I'm saying? And Connie Moore, the coaches, Boozer, who coaches in the game. You know, those guys, Coach Carter from Killian, who coached in the game. I want to recognize those people who are actually doing what they did, sacrificing their time. But like it's top 24 seniors in Miami, and it was great. I'm doing it again next year. We're gonna get the radio involved, get a lot of different people that want to sponsor involved. I funded it all on my own this year. Next year, hopefully we get some sponsors and we're able to do things, you know what I'm saying, at a higher level.
Okay. And now you did so we're gonna make the All-Star thing regular. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a regular event now.
I would like to be at Florida Memorial, but you know, I kind of like the high school setting a lot better. But it could be at Florida Memorial. They're sure they want it, but I definitely wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, in the high school setting. I liked it at Miami High. Killian said they wanted to put it over there. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple other schools that want to participate in it, but you know what I mean, it's probably gonna stay at Miami High right now, and we're gonna move forward from there.
Yeah, and it keeps growing every year. Mm-hmm. It keeps getting more and more competitive between the parents and between the players, and
that's what we want.
And between the coaches, people take it. You know, even coaches getting involved in this stuff, man. Like with the whole where their team ranks and all that. Man, listen. This is what I gotta say to that. I can understand kids and parents getting upset, right? I can understand it, but I don't necessarily agree with it, right? Mm-hmm. But what I think is foolish is coaches that think like, oh, we're better than this team. Okay, that's cool. Maybe you are, right? Maybe you are, but why not use that as motivation for your team, right? Like if you feel disrespected by it, right? Wouldn't that be more fuel to the fire? I mean, listen, that's how I feel about things. And I feel like that's what makes Miami Dade basketball great. It's the idea where, like, if you're at the top, okay, you got recognized for being good, right? No big deal. But if you're somewhere in the bottom of that list or of that ranking, well, isn't it your job to now
prove everything wrong,
right? And like you said, it's a committee. Committees don't always get everything right? The people that put these things together don't always get these things right. And I don't think Shaw is ever claiming that they get it right.
Nah.
Right? Like they've always gotten it right. I don't think that he's ever claimed that. And I think that's the most important thing that he's trying to say. Like, hey, this is a group of people. It's not just me. We sit down. We debate this thing over text message and all that stuff. We congregate. And
obviously, I can't see all the teams.
But of course.
When you talk about team rankings, let's talk about that a little bit.
Let's do it.
Listen, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best.
You got to play the best, yeah.
You can't go 27-0 and play. I ain't gonna say no school name, but play the church league teams, and you know what I mean. That's not like, how do you want to be ranked number one, but you haven't played in the top 10 teams or top 15 teams because you're undefeated. You haven't played. You got to play the smoke. They don't want to play the smoke. That's the thing. That's why I did the Lions Classic this year. When I set that up, I made sure the smoke was playing the smoke. I made sure the good teams are playing the good teams. You know what I'm saying? And it was all 8 of them all in the top. You know what I mean? That's what kind of environment you want to be in if you want to be one of the top teams in the county or South Florida. You got to play the best teams. You can't come crying to me if you ain't played and your other team is ranked number 2 or 3. This is all bragging rights.
Yeah.
This is not going in no record book. This is all bragging. It's the only thing it is bragging rights. But people pay attention to it. You got 30,000 people on my page every month. You know what I'm saying? Looking at it. You know what I mean? And that's like wow to me. Like, man, like this just happened. You know what I mean? Maybe I should update the website too. You know what I mean? If we having these kind of discussions over team rankings, and you having, you know what I mean? I enjoy creating conversations for people to have. That's in the basketball realm. So